Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about 5 things that you can typically pick up for free that are super useful for your homestead. So just letting you know where I'm at in the world, because I think it could make a difference in obtaining these items or being able to obtain these items. I live in the northeast region of the state of Arizona, and up on the Colorado Plateau, about 5,600 feet up. Live in a very small rural community with a lot of farmers and ranchers around me. Let's get to the first thing, and that's mineral barrels. That's where I say that maybe where I live matters for this, because these mineral barrels, I have 2 different sides of the family are ranching. So I've got access to mineral barrels. Basically, ranchers take out these barrels. They have mineral licks in them. Take them out, put them out on the range, and cattle will lick these blocks of mineral just to get extra nutrients and supplement their range grass diet. Once the barrels are empty, they're really good, sturdy plastic tubs and barrels that you can use for all kinds of things that probably a lot of ranchers are looking to get rid of. I've used them for a lot of things. I probably won't remember everything. One of the biggest things I've used is I found them to be the best thing for composting for me. And I ended up cutting one real short, about this tall, and I used that to put all of our chicken scraps in. Honestly, I could probably just throw them in the pen. Probably more for me than the chickens. My parents have used them as planters. Like I said, all kinds of things you can use them for. You know, endless list. Maybe I should make a video dedicated to all the different things that you can use mineral barrels for on their own. But look for, a farmer rancher around you, someone who may be looking to get rid of some. Now, this number 2 item is definitely going to be a little bit more complicated. One of the big things for me is welding. So right now I have a situation with a local steel supplier where they're also a scrap supplier. I can haul in scrap steel, and for every pound of scrap steel I haul in, I can haul out scrap steel. So basically I haul in completely worthless trash, real small pieces of scraps, all kinds of different stuff, all kinds of different junk, car parts, things like that, things that are just basically worthless at this point. I can leave with pieces of I-beam. I can leave with pieces of square tubing pipe, mostly I-beam and pipe, and a little bit of angle is what I've been able to get. C-channel is something I've been on the lookout for that I haven't really been able to get, as well as square tubing. Those 2 things are definitely a lot harder to find, but I'm leaving there with huge, massive pieces of steel that would, even on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, would cost hundreds of dollars. And I've got a pretty good stock of it so far, and it's basically been all free. I was also able to pick up a bunch of steel that I built a little wood shed out of. That it's gone through a few iterations of things, but right now it's a wood shed. I built that whole thing out of pipe, as well as a free one of those really cheap little flimsy sheds that get put together with like 3,000 screws. I was able to take all the metal of that and put it around, and that came from my brother, who got it from Marketplace for like free or 20 bucks or something like that. It's ridiculously cheap. A lot of family members might have metal just sitting around that they want you to get rid of. All kinds of different places you can pick up free metal for welding projects, for small buildings, sheds, barns, stables, things like that. All kinds of different things that you can build with scrap steel if you'll just pick it up. Tractor implements, all kinds of stuff. Definitely look for free steel. It's out there if you go and try and find it. Next thing on the list is going to be wood chips and manure and just biological material in general for composting, building soil, all kinds of things like that. Like I said, around me, a lot of farmers and ranchers, at least 3 places I can think of that I can pretty much go get free manure. Another thing is I was at the city park one day. I saw the guys there mowing the lawns and everything, and I just went up and asked the guy who looked like he was in charge if he could drop off all the grass clippings at my house, because I was going to compost them down. He said he'd drop it off that one day, give me the 1 load. I'm probably just going to bug him about it once every year. I actually know who the guy is now pretty well. Anyway, good situation there. I might be able to get 1 load a summer of grass clippings to help make compost with, just to mix in with all my other stuff. So I have something green to mix in with the brown, the dry stuff. And then another thing is those guys going around cutting down tree limbs around power lines. Obviously, you guys that live where there's a lot of trees all over the place. There's a lot of tree trimmers and tree service companies just in general out there that probably have mulch that they want to get rid of. They give you free wood chips and mulch. Also, not to mention, one of the places I get a lot of wood chips and mulch mulch. It's not really quite mulch, but you know, pretty small pieces of wood chips is just from my log splitting pile after I split firewood. Leaves a pretty good mess around. I'm currently filling up the what's going to be the pig pen with a bunch of wood chips and things, and hopefully help keep the smell down a little bit, get away with being in town and raising pigs. There's dozens of places you can get that stuff. Just look for it, ask around, you know, be a little bit outgoing, which is hard for me to do, and just ask people for any kind of biological material you can pick up to help, you know, feed the soil and the nutrients in your gardens and around your trees and everything else. All right, moving down the list to number 4 is 55-gallon drums, steel barrels, IBC totes, anything like that. Now, these are going to be a little bit more difficult to get your hands on, but I actually have a burn barrel that was technically left here for me by the previous owner of my home. Also picked up a steel barrel from one of my ranch relatives. It was just left behind on one of their ranches that they bought, and I went and picked it up. They let me have it. I'm planning on using that more for like grain storage, things like that. And then IBC totes, I picked those up from a local greenhouse facility in the town that I used to live in. And they're just used for fertilizer. I did build a compost bin out of one. Probably the main thing they've served me for is firewood storage. Just up there on the porch on the back of my house, we store, you know, a good few days worth of firewood, so we just have to walk right outside the back door onto the porch, grab the firewood, haul it inside, keep ourselves warm here in the winter. So mostly as log racks is really the point of it. We use these IBC tote cages as log racks. Those are going to definitely be more challenging, the drums and the IBC totes. Just got to look around for them, places that are going to have them, greenhouse facilities, other farms, large manufacturing plants, things like that. And obviously you want to be careful with what was in them before you pick them up. But, you know, just keep your eyes open for them. You'll run across them. Places probably wanting to get rid of them. All right, and number 5 is going to be used motor oil. You guys that have been long-term viewers are going to know that this is nothing new. I've gotten so much free used motor oil that I don't know what to do with it all. Mostly I use it as a wood protectant. Lots of different things you can use motor oil for. One thing that I know that a lot of people are using it for these days is just a diesel fuel. So if you've got one of those old diesel engines, you know, there's diesel trucks out there that'll take and sip on your used motor oil. Also, used motor oil heaters or oil heaters. I've seen a lot of videos on those things recently. They seem to be getting really big. So, you know, you can feed those heaters with the used motor oil, and probably a variety of other waste oils as well, vegetable oil, cooking oil, anything like that. A lot of different places you can pick that up besides just from your own engines, which hopefully you're changing them out often enough that you can keep a decent supply of it on your own. Let me know some things down in the comments below that you pick up for your homestead, your shop, your garage, anything that you're using on a regular basis that you can find and, you know, upcycle or recycle or use in whatever way you can to help you do things on your property, your homestead, whatever it is, like I said. So let me know in the comments below if you come up with anything like that. I'd like to hear it. Maybe we'll compile another list and make another list of 5 things that you can pick up for free for use on your homestead. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We'll see you in the next video.